Hello everyone, Ron here from L.T.L Tutoring Central. I hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm talking about learning styles. And what do I mean by learning styles? Well, you've probably heard of auditory, kinesthetic, visual learners, different types of learners or different styles of learning. You might have even self-identified as a visual learner or a kinesthetic learner. You might have even been tested, or your child might have been tested and been labeled with one of these styles of learning. And sometimes schools, teachers try to accommodate this. Sometimes they try to change the methods in which they're using to teach the child, and parents at home try to do that. Or if you're an adult learner, you try to change yourself so that you can learn using your strongest learning style, let's say. The question is this true or is this a myth? And I think it's leaning more and more towards myth, but I'm not going to argue that too strongly one way or the other. What I am going to argue is something that I've said as far as I can remember all the way along in my learning career and in my tutoring career. And that, why throw the baby out with the bathwater? If you are a visual learner, and I think I lean more toward a visual learner than the other types of styles. And I should mention, there's a lot more. These are the ones that everyone hears, but there are many more learning styles. I've seen some articles, they've listed dozens of different learning styles. So good luck trying to sort all of those out and accommodate each one for each learner. That would be a nightmare. But I might be more of a visual learner. But did I skip all the lectures at university when I was studying there? No, of course not. I went to every lecture. I listened. I took notes. I knew I could use my notes visually later. Read the text all the time, before and after, and I would get something from the lecture. Would I get as much as reading the text or rereading and reading my notes? Perhaps not, but I would get something. I would get something different from the lecture than I did from the textbook. Sometimes the professor would be teaching something, either giving new information, different information, or giving it in a different way. And that would just give me one more avenue to access this knowledge, to access this information. So it certainly wasn't a waste of time to go to the lectures. So use all the modalities if you can, or any that work for a particular subject or material that you're trying to learn. Why not use everything? I don't know all the 30 plus different learning styles that are out there, but the major ones, I use as many as I can. I go to the lectures, I listen to podcasts or videos, I watch them too, so it's visual and audio. Kinesthetically, I've mentioned in videos before that I'm often pacing if I'm trying to memorize something, or if I have read something new on a new topic. Often for my students these days, preparing them for something, I will pace and talk to myself out loud even, and sort of practice and think and learn in that way. So you have a kinesthetic piece, an auditory piece going on there. So I use as many different styles or modalities as I can to keep learning. And I think that's what you should do too. And I think if it's your child that's having difficulty, it doesn't really matter what kind of learner he or she is. If there are these different types, it doesn't really make any difference, except that you might lean in that direction, but use that strength to build up the other modalities. So you can use the areas in which you're strong to make those other areas even stronger. It's why they call them learning challenges. When we're faced with a challenge, we want to rise up to the challenge. We want to meet it and we want to conquer it if we can, or at least make it better. So there's no reason why you can't improve on the learning styles that you feel maybe you're weak. The idea now is, if you're a visual learner, we have to give you everything visually. If you're an auditory learner, we need to forget the visual. We'll just give it to you in the auditory way as much as possible. That's totally the wrong way to go, I think. And this happens with children with other learning challenges. For example, if they have difficulty printing or writing, well, we won't we won't make them write anymore. We won't make them print anymore. We'll simply have a scribe, and the scribe will write everything down that the child says. If the child has difficulty reading, we'll have somebody read to the child, and he or she won't be expected to read anymore, or very, very little. This is totally the opposite of what you should be doing. You should actually be trying to strengthen those weak areas. Now, that doesn't mean that you force them and drill them and torture them. No, of course not. But if they do have a stronger area, use that and weave it into the weaker styles or the weaker areas and build them up and practice them and make them stronger. We all are at different levels. We all have different strengths and weaknesses, but we can improve upon those weak areas by using our strengths. So we don't have to throw everything out with the bathwater. If you are strongly believing that you have a specific learning style or your child has a specific learning style, that's fine as long as you keep working on the other modalities to strengthen them. Don't ignore them, don't throw them out, and don't adjust everything to try to meet that child's need. Let the child rise up to the occasion and meet some of those bars and levels and keep raising the bar as he or she improves. That's how we do better, by challenging ourselves and then rising to the challenge, not just ignoring it and saying, well, I can't do that. I'm a visual learner, so I can't do that. You shouldn't make me do that. That's the wrong idea. Are the learning styles a myth? I don't know for sure, but the research does not show that they mean very much. The more research I look at, the less those learning styles seem to mean, and people are spending a lot of money and time on something that I think is not helpful. Or not very helpful. So I would recommend moving away from that. It can be fun to sort of test yourself and say, oh, okay, I'm a little bit more this way or that way. But it shouldn't be, it should not change the way that you're teaching, or it should not change the way that you're learning yourself very much. You should just say, okay, I'm a little stronger there. Maybe I'll use that to make these other learning styles and modalities stronger for myself. Okay, I didn't really answer the question completely. Is it true or is it a myth? But I did touch on that, and my main thrust is that use all modalities and any tool you can in your toolbox to help you learn more and learn better, and to help your children as well. I will put a link to the website below and also to the blog. I hope you have an amazing time learning and having fun. It's Ron from L.T.L. Tutoring Central. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click on that notification bell. And also, don't forget to take part in the read-along program. It's going on very, very well. All right, bye-bye for now.